Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good. It's been so long since I have posted on the tube, but I'm back. I'm back with a bang. So today we're doing this grid mirror behind me, otherwise known as a window mirror or industrial grid mirror, whichever you choose. I hope you enjoy the process and maybe try it for yourself. Do enjoy. Hi y'all. Can we just first start with what in the world is this weather? Please? It's too much. I cannot. I have two jumpers on, but still I am feeling hella cold. And I know it does not look like it because this camera doesn't show it, and because I have my bulb set to that car warm tone, so it looks like it's sunny, but deep down I am suffering. Anyway, that's beside the point. I woke up this morning to go and get the materials that I need for the mirror, and I'm so excited. So I'll just show you what I have before we get started. I got the wooden strips cut to size. I feel that I might have mismeasured because they look so big compared to the size of the mirrors. And then I got this, which is a plywood that's going to, oops, that's going to hold at the back. And then what else? And then the mirrors, they're all, I have to be careful because they're delicate. They are all cut to size. I don't want to show you the reflection because the back of this set is looking a bit messy. But yeah, so I have the mirrors, all the wooden strips cut to size. I'll show you this a bit clearly when I start working on them because they're too heavy for me to carry. And then I have my plywood ready and set. And then I have the spray paint of choice. I actually bought two because I wasn't sure if I wanted the frames black or gold. So I bought both. But I know I'll use them either way in one of my projects. So now I'm going for black because it goes very well with the light fixture that I bought. So yeah, and this is the space where the mirror is going to be. So let's get started. Probably not now because it's cold, but we'll get started when we get started. So in case you need to do this project, I'm going to list everything that I will use at the end of the video, just because at this point I might think I have everything, and then in the middle of the project I realize I do not have everything, so I might buy some things along the way. One more thing I'd like to mention: when I was planning for this project, I thought this project would be cheap, very cheap and affordable, until I went to buy the mirrors and I was like, what is that? Please, I can't. But anyway, I bought them because I planned for them either way, and the project is nothing without the mirrors. So, two things I noticed. Number one, the wooden support that I had was not enough. As you have seen in the clip I have just played. So I had to go out and get another one for the middle. And number two, the screws I had were too long. So I had to go and get shorter ones. So that's the difference. The longer one was going to go all the way through the wood, and I would have this pointing out into the air. So I needed something shorter. Yeah. So for today, we're just going to screw in the support, and maybe we shall glue in the frames, and then tomorrow we start with the spray paint and then the mirrors. I have to mention, this is the first time I am using a drill on my own, and I'm super excited for that. But at the same time, I'm pretty scared if I mess anything up. I've not bought backups for nothing. So wish me luck. Yes, I can use a drill officially. I am a pro. You need some drill work? Call me please, because I have perfected the art anyway. That's a lie. Yes, I have done some drill work, and I feel like the base work is pretty secure, but I'm just going to go over with a staple gun just to be, strong. And then we start with the frames. Hey y'all, it is another day. It is still hella cold, so I hope everyone is keeping warm and keeping safe because Corona is happening. So we are pretty much done with the base of our project. The initial plan was to have all the frames attached first to the base, and then we would spray paint. That's what I had planned on doing. But then that would require me to go outside with this entire thing and spray paint it and bring it back in. So when I was planning that, I didn't think this thing would be heavy. Now looking at it, there's no way I'm carrying this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray paint all of these frames, and then I'll come and attach them when they're already spray painted. So that will save me a lot of hassle, and yeah, we'll still get the same results. So I have everything ready, all of my frames. I have my spray paint ready. If you can hear that, I apologize for the noise at the back. And then yeah, let's get into it. So a couple of things I've encountered so far. First of all, the 1 can of spray paint was not enough. I went over and bought 2 more, and that was still not enough. So I painted all my frames 3 sides and left one, which is fine because that's the side I'm going to attach to the board. And then the other thing is I had bought this glue, which is silicone glue, but it's not working for the wood. I should have read the instructions before, but it's fine. I'm going to use it for my mirrors. And then now I have gone out and bought wood glue. So this is what I'll use to attach the frames to the base. Oh man, have you ever embarked on a project that you think, oh, this is going to be the easiest thing of my life? And then once you're into it, it's like, oh crap. It really isn't. This is one of those projects for me. There is a noise outside. The project is, what? Anyway, so, the base is not strong enough. It's not supporting the mirrors as I want them to. As you've seen in the clip I've just played, I put the mirrors and the frames in place just to get a feel of how it would look and feel. And the mirrors seem to be dipping down at some point. So I had to go and get more of these support beams. I got 2 more. So that's a total of 5 I have now that I need to put in place. And then when we last spoke, I had bought this glue and I used it wrongly. Apparently you're supposed to mix it with sawdust so that it can stick, but I feel like I will mess that up and it won't work well. So I went back to the hardware store and got this. Apparently this one also needs some sawdust. So you know what, by the time I was buying that, I was like, I'm not spending any more money on things I don't know. So I bought contact glue. This is the glue that I used for my accent wall, which I'm going to link above here, or here, somewhere here. So yeah, that's what I used. And you know, better the devil you know than the angel you don't know. Yeah, that's about it for what I got. Oh, I also got some paint. Thank God for friends. I got some black paint from my friend because I need to, it just looks a bit dingy with the spray paint that I did. So I'm just going to top over with the paint. So if you're doing this project, if you attempt to do this project, just use paint. You know, spray paint is, I don't want to say a scam, but to me it was. I ended up buying so many cans of it, and I could have just bought paint and I would have much more left after the project. So let's get started. So if you look along this line, you can see how the mirrors are going towards this center. So I'm going to put the support under here so that it goes all the way to the other side. So I'm going to put one on this side and one on this side. The base looks pretty stable now that I've added the 2 beams of support. and I have put the mirrors on top again just to, get a feel of how it would be. Also, so that I cannot mismeasure the entire thing, because this thing is very delicate on the measurements, and that's the tricky part. So I'm going to work on it when everything is still on top, and then we just figure it out as we go, because it's quite tricky. Before we continue, let me just show you the situation I have found myself in, because it's a lot. So I have measured all the mirrors on here, as you can see, and behind the mirrors, just so I don't forget which one goes where. And then I've left these ones here and down there so that I can add this frame and that frame. Now the problem is, can you see the space that is left here? This is where this frame is supposed to go. That's not the major problem. If you look at it, it's pretty curved. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll figure it out. And then down here, we don't have space anymore for the bottom frame. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I still have these small ones, 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm thinking of putting them on top of the mirrors because I don't see any other solutions. And there it is. I'm done for the night. Is it perfect? No. Is it going to look stunning in my living room? Hell yes. So just going to let the glue dry and strengthen overnight. Then we paint over again black in the morning. As you can see, I replaced this one. The one that was there was too curved to be used. But I'm happy with today's results. I didn't think I could do it, but I did it. And I'm happy with minor inconveniences, but it's fine. Good night, y'all. Good morning, y'all. So I have slept on it and I have decided that I am not going to repaint my frames. And the reason is I like how it looks, the matte kind of look. And the paint that I got was the oil paint, and it gives like a reflective kind of finish, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. But if you remember from yesterday, or for you just a few minutes ago, I had added that one that was not painted. So I'll try and paint that with the oil paint that I have. Hopefully there won't be such a big difference between that one and the rest of the frames. But that's about it. Yeah, so I'm going to paint it. That oil paint smells like intense paraffin. So I need to air my entire living room so that when I paint, it will be a bit better. So let's get started with that. And then we add the mirrors and then we're done. Oh, finally. Hopefully. Scratch what I just said. The perfectionist in me could not just paint one frame and let it go. I decided, let me paint the screws. And then I was like, These ones seem a little, they need a little more paint, so I painted them. So at this point, I've painted most, if not all, of the frames. It is what it is. This room is smelling too paraffiny for me, so I'm going to let it dry and come back a bit later. Alright, it is time to do the mirrors, the final part of my project. And I know I had mentioned I would do silicone glue, but I'm not trying things I don't know, so I'm still going to use contact glue. I think it works according to the kind of research I have done. So yeah, yay, we're coming closer and closer to the end. Glue does not work and it's over anyway, so silicone it is. I'm done with the glue. I feel like I'm done with everything, and if this goes well, the project is over. But I'm feeling like the glue is not so strong, so we just hope for the best. This silicone glue is a lot. I've inhaled so many things today. Anyway, the silicone glue is supposed to sit for 24 hours, so I hope in 24 hours everything will be good. So see you in 24 hours. But otherwise, I am happy with the turnout. Let me show you. This is how we're looking like. It's pretty much done. I really hope I don't have to add anything else. I have 2 cuts on my hand. I feel like that's enough torture for one project. Good night again, guys. See you tomorrow in 24 hours. Good morning, guys. So I woke up this morning to this situation, and these are just the ones that I've managed to fall when I tried to pick the thing up. Yeah. Somehow I knew this glue was not going to work. It's a bit disappointing, but I think it's time to call professional help, because I cannot be having a health hazard in my home. As much as I want it to look beautiful, the piece is finally ready. I called the professionals over and they just used silicone glue. It's just that I was using it wrongly. So instead of waiting for 10 minutes before you put it onto the base, you just put it immediately and then wait for it to stick. I am noticing, although after some time, the silicone starts to show on the mirrors like in a black form, which is, at this point, I'm just happy the project is done. It's not something very big, but I hope it's not going to manifest in all the mirrors, because I'm just seeing it in a few of them. So that's it. It's ready to be put up. I just need to wipe it and then wash the space, the living room. It's looking yeah, it's looking like a warehouse, so I'll just clean it up and then put up the mirror. I'm so glad I'm finally done. Is this a project I would recommend? It's up to you to decide. See what I mean? At first I thought this was paint, but turns out it's the silicone that's seeping through the mirror. Where else did I see it? There's so many places, and here too. It's finally over, guys. Oh my goodness, that was a tough one. It's been a series of ups and downs. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're planning to do it, love to you. Do your best. Hold on, when things don't seem like they're happening, they're going to happen. So I'm just going to go through the things that I used. But just go through the video in case I've forgotten something. So number one, I wrote it down. Number one is the wooden support at the back. At first I bought two, turned out I needed five. Those are 2x2s. If you go to where they sell wood, they would know what a 2x2 is. I didn't know before I started, now I do. Yeah, so I needed those five of them. I used, okay, before I continue, let me just mention that these are my measurements and the measurements of my wall. So make sure you do your own measurements and just know, no matter how good your measurements are, the bow guy or the mirror guy is bound to mess up some millimeters or centimeters. So, just know, give yourself some allowance, maybe 1 centimeter here and there. All the best with that. Okay, so I've mentioned the 2x2, and then the frames, these ones, I used 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter, but I would recommend 2 centimeter by 1 centimeter. It looks more appealing, but I don't mind how mine turned out. I had four of them cut at 45-degree angle on the ends. So this one for this side, the bottom and the top. Although the top I didn't use it. If you watch the video, you know why I didn't use it. Yeah, the measurements were, they messed me up. But turned out great. And then you're going to need mirrors again based on your measurements. Mine were 25 centimeters by 25 centimeters each. I used contact glue to attach the frames to the plywood that is the base, and then I used silicone glue to attach the mirror to the base that is the plywood again. That one gave me a bit of trouble, and the silicone, the guy said with time it tends to seep into the mirrors. So I don't know which one is the more ideal one. If you do, put it down in the comments below, but that has worked for me. That's great. And then I used spray paint, the black spray paint from the frames. But I would definitely recommend buy paint. 1 liter of paint is maybe like 700, and you would have a lot more left. I used 3 cans of spray paint at 300 each, and I still feel like they were not enough. And then the plywood at the base, that is the plywood that I used. That's about all that I used. The plywood, I would recommend if you get the thicker version that's going to be more stable, buy that. And then for the mirrors, if you could buy an entire mirror and then just put the frames on the mirror, I feel like that would have been easier. I don't know, so it's up to you to decide what you would want to go with. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end. This was a tough project. When I was seeing this project on TikTok, people are doing it, I was excited. I thought, one day I'm done. But these people are from the States, and they have glue that works, and they have measurements that are measured by machine, and it's all easy. Here, when you're depending on human eyes for measurements, gets a little tricky, but I enjoyed it. I love how it turned out. My living room is great. I just need to add some things, and then I'll bring you in as I make it into a whole livable, beautiful living room. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one, hopefully very soon.